I feel insecure that a guy my girlfriend used to have a crush on and is now in the friend group. As the title says, I know this is an insecurity. I got cheated on in the past and lied to my face multiple times in my last relationship. So my girlfriend told me that before her and I were together she had a crush on a guy named Bob. Bob is an attractive guy and is now hanging out more and more with her friend group multiple times per week. I live about an hour and a half away, so I see her a few times per week. I saw a picture that one of her friends posted on her IG story and saw them together with their arms around each other in the friend group for the picture. Everyone else was too. When I asked her about this, she said they also sat beside each other at the dinner table while hanging out with their friend group. I asked my girlfriend if she has flirted with him since we've been together and she said no. I asked her if he has flirted with her and she said there was one instance where he came over to her table and said something to her, out loud to the table, that her friends told her they read as flirty, but she didn't read it as flirty. I didn't think it was flirty when she told me. Her friends think everyone is flirting with them to a degree. We talked about this for a while last night after I brought it up and she reassured me over and over and answered all the questions I asked. I'm very grateful she took the time to do that. I know she's not my ex. It's just the lingering feelings of fear of abandonment and anxiety of getting cheated on by someone I truly love. I don't want to be controlling and tell her not to talk to the guy. I think that's ridiculous. It's just very difficult for me to process and move on from because of my past trauma. Any advice or words of wisdom? Comment. It might be hard to fight your nerves, but trusting her and having faith in your relationship will be the best thing for this. Try to express your feelings about the situation to her if the anxiety about it continues, but let her know that you are not anxious because you don't trust her. You don't want to put strain on the relationship by coming off as extremely jealous / making her think that you don't trust her faithfulness to you, but your feelings are also valid and you should be able to discuss them with her instead of bottling them up. I have been in a similar situation with my current partner and it's just something that takes time to work through. It's not easy to get over those insecurities immediately, so don't feel guilty for being anxious about the situation. As someone who has also been a victim of cheating, I have a new stance on this. If a girl is tempted to cheat on me for any reason in the universe, then she will lose me forever. I will never control, but I will always watch. I am experienced now and know what my boundaries are. I communicate my boundaries, and if they are crossed, they are gone, no discussion. This is something you will learn through your 20s. Either you trust your girlfriend or don't. This guy doesn't have any way to make your girlfriend cheat if she doesn't want to already. If she doesn't, let it go and be happy she is yours. Well, all the ingredients are there. Just add alcohol. I would definitely have a discussion about boundaries with guy friends. Especially someone she has a crush on. Hopefully she is loyal. Unfortunately, loyalty is becoming a thing of the past these days. Next story 2. She broke up with me in one text. AITA if I don't respond and move on? I originally broke up with her a year ago, and after some time apart she pushed hard to get back together and I gave her a chance. Everything was great after for about 9 months until she went on a girls' trip with her friends. She came back pretty much a new person and suddenly a bunch of things were an issue. We had a couple of conversations and a lot of the issues subsided over the next few weeks. Except one that's been bothering me for a while and I brought up a bunch, and it's communication. A few nights ago she disappeared for the whole night, which has been happening often, apparently with her friend, female, with no communication. From that night to the next day, I took a mental day, put my phone on DND and didn't use it till the evening. I get back to a bunch of messages and missed calls from her. I call and she unloads, doesn't want to let me speak and only wants answers to her questions. I already answered at this point where I had been, why, etc. I should have texted her that I was taking a mental day but didn't since she disappeared for the night. I push back that I'm not answering anything cause I didn't like how she was speaking to me and she gets off the phone. I call back after and she avoids it. We don't talk the following day, And fast forward today, I reach out to talk to her after she's done work. She doesn't answer until she's about to finish work, ending things and telling me she thought about everything and still cares about me and not to be a stranger. I still called like planned and she avoided it. We hadn't even talked about anything, so not sure what she thought about. Uneasy face. I don't respect or appreciate how this was handled. I really don't have anything to say at this point. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. AITA if I just don't respond at all to her breakup text. Comment. Bro. This trip makes me think one of two things happened. Either her girls got together in a group and literally roasted you and your relationship, or she cheated, in some way, shape, or form. This would explain her drastic change in behavior, her disappearances, and her lack of communicating about the breakup. This is just my suspicion. But this is pointless to continue. This relationship is toxic and is done. Pursuing closure/maintaining contact will only hurt you further. If she broke up with you, there's nothing more to say. Her treatment of you isn't acceptable. It's disrespectful and rude. This isn't healthy and she did you a favor. The door opened, walk through and be free. Drama is exhausting. Yep, let this immature self-centered person go. She has an awful lot of growing up to do. I would not respond at all. Next story 3. My BF and I argued about conveying actions and words. What should I do after the argument if I wasn't okay with the aftermath? We had a heated argument about me not being able to catch his cues about something he wants me to do. He was upset about something and he said some stuff that I didn't know he meant the opposite, like how he told me that he'll be going home while he expects me to tell him to stay. I guess I'm simple-minded because I just let him go home, but that's because I was considering that it's a tiring day for him and voila, I failed to know what he wanted me to do. I told him that he shouldn't be expecting that I know everything and suggested that if I don't get it, he should tell me. And many more expectations he has for me that I didn't catch on. From his side, he said it equates to him begging for attention, so as his girlfriend, I supposedly know it for myself and act upon it. I told him how important are the words because it could help me address his concerns properly. Eventually, I just don't feel that he is being sincere when he just gave up and note that like, okay, I'll tell you everything I want you to know/do from now on because that's what you want. Later, he seems like he's giving me some slack because apparently it is my first relationship, like for him it's your first time to be in this kind of relationship conflict anyway. I feel down because I really can't accept that he expects a lot from me and I tell him not to. I want this matter to be settled properly. He acts like he's the one being the bigger person in this relationship after claiming how he'll surrender for me, but that's not the case. All I see is a hard-headed person. He mentioned how I was so good in this relationship because he thought I always know what to do and how sweet I am, so what happened now? It's unfair for my part who always tells him everything that I think of, but since then, yes, even before, he does always have a problem in understanding me. I believe that there was never a rule that a person in relationship would know what their partner thinks without saying anything. I hate that being a good girlfriend to him would lead him to think that I should always be sweet, I should always give way for him whenever he has a problem of his own because I'll be the who's always there to listen to him. I never said this to him, but I feel like he's being dependent on me while his fragile masculinity is showing. What's so hard about being direct to me? Finally, actually, we aren't done yet. I told him that I don't want to talk to him because I feel hurt, and you know what he said? I'll uninstall my messenger then. Like, come on. Does he want me to feel bad when he does that? Please, I can't think of anything. I want to have a pause for a while. I want to fix things, but all I think is breaking up if he continues to be hard-headed. I just want him to be open about my perspective. I never intended to say that I'm the one who's right and he's wrong. I want him to think through. It saddens me that I feel like he's having a hard time with me because I am never submissive of just letting a matter go for the sake of having a peaceful relationship. I always think that it is just right to have fights like this because I'm able to tell him my concerns, but it's hard whenever your partner isn't a listening type. He says he understands but it doesn't translate, so I really want him to think about our situation. I hate when he says, "Why are you thinking like that? What is happening to us? We're not like this," in the middle of our arguments, like boy ain't my long paragraphs not helpful enough to know what it is. How lucky are the GFS who have BFS who read SMH. Comment. He's honestly being very mature and unfair. You are not a mind reader, so how are you supposed to know when he's playing the opposite game? Vulnerability is hard and people underestimate how uncomfortable it can be to be honest in a relationship. He might feel scared or embarrassed to tell you exact what he wants, but that's what adults in relationships have to do. This is not your fault. You're doing everything you can to accommodate him, but it's apparently not enough. If he's not willing to listen to you, what's the point?